Picture this. You've got your bags packed, you're ready for crisp ocean air, stunning glaciers, and of course, those endless buffets. But instead of a dream vacation, your floating resort literally turns into a viral hot zone. In this explainer, we're diving right into the recent incident aboard the Ruby Princess cruise ship. We really want to analyze exactly why these massive luxury vessels so frequently become ground zero for norovirus outbreaks. So, let's look at what just happened. Over 100 passengers and about 23 crew members suddenly fell ill on this single voyage. That is more than 123 individuals whose relaxing getaway was just instantly replaced by severe gastrointestinal distress. It really begs the question, right? How does something spread this widely and this fast on a ship? Section 1. The Ruby Princess Outbreak. What was supposed to be a scenic, peaceful journey started off beautifully. They departed San Francisco on June 12th, headed for the breathtaking landscapes of Alaska and Canada. But more than 2 weeks into the trip, the script completely flipped. Instead of happily disembarking with souvenirs on July 2nd, the ship was docked in San Francisco for a heavily orchestrated disinfecting operation. The whole dream vacation was just halted by a microscopic invader. You have to remember, the Ruby Princess is essentially a dense floating city. Demographically, you're looking at 3,032 passengers, right alongside 1,144 crew members. That's over 4,100 human beings sharing the exact same air, the same dining halls, the same stairwell handrails, day after day in an incredibly confined space. Now, here's a number that puts it into perspective. The CDC officially flags a cruise ship outbreak when the illness threshold hits just 3% of the passengers. Now, 3% might sound mathematically tiny, but when you apply that to a confined population of over 4,000 people, it is an explosive situation. It's the exact tipping point where local containment completely fails, and it triggers immediate federal reporting. Part 2. Meet the microscopic culprit. So let's talk about the bug itself, norovirus. It's a highly contagious, incredibly aggressive pathogen that induces severe diarrhea and vomiting. It acts fast, and for those 123-plus individuals on the Ruby Princess, it meant total isolation in their cabins. They were entirely missing the Alaskan experience they paid thousands for, all while dealing with some serious physical distress. The thing is, norovirus is an absolute master of transmission. It spreads when even microscopic particles of fecal matter or vomit transfer through hand-to-mouth contact. Think about your daily routine on a cruise. You grab a serving spoon at the breakfast buffet, hold a handrail, push an elevator button, and then eat a sandwich. That chain of touch, that's the exact highway this virus uses to travel from person to person like wildfire. Section 3. Why cruise ships are incubators. Our source material really hits the nail on the head here. Cruise ships, where guests reside in close proximity, can be an incubator of illnesses. It's the ultimate double-edged sword of the whole cruising industry. The very things that make cruises so amazing, the shared luxury, the communal dining, the tight-knit social activities, are precisely what make them an incubator. Having thousands of people touching communal surfaces creates an environment literally tailor-made for a surface-dwelling pathogen to thrive. And here is the crazy part. The Ruby Princess is not an isolated story. According to CDC reports, this incident marks the third outbreak to hit a Princess Cruises vessel this year alone. That really highlights a systemic vulnerability in this specific mode of travel. Even with the strictest protocols in place, the environmental math of a cruise ship just inherently favors the virus. If we zoom out and look at the entire industry, the data is even more striking. Including the Ruby Princess, there have been 7 total norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships so far in 2026. 7 times this year, a floating city has crossed that CDC threshold, turning a luxury vacation into a floating quarantine zone. The architecture and social nature of these ships absolutely cement them as unique incubators for rapid viral spread. Section 4. Stopping the spread. So what happens when an outbreak actually hits? The immediate response is a highly coordinated dual-action strategy. Step 1 is absolute containment, isolating the ill passengers and crew to immediately get active carriers out of the communal environment. Step 2 is going on the offensive, aggressively disinfecting the vessel. As we saw with the Ruby Princess, this isn't just a quick wipe down of the tables. It requires docking the ship and executing a massive cleaning operation to physically break that chain of transmission. But what about on a personal level? Well, health officials continuously point back to a defense mechanism that is almost frustratingly simple. Wash your hands with soap and water, particularly after using the toilet or before eating. Remember that chain of touch we talked about? Hand-to-mouth contact is the primary highway for this virus. Vigorously washing with soap and water physically breaks that chain. It is, for sure, your absolute best personal armor against an outbreak in a shared space. At the end of the day, the mystery of the Ruby Princess is really just a predictable biological equation. It forces us to take a step back and ask, how do we balance our deep desire to explore the world in communal luxury with the undeniable microscopic realities of viral spread in close quarters?